Now that Apex Legends Mobile is officially released globally, the very first thing you need to do is set up your settings. Your sensitivity, controls, everything. But there are so many different settings. Fortunately for you, you don't have to worry about any of that, because that's where I come in. I'll be showing you the best settings that you can apply to get the best out of your gameplay. I'll also go through and explain every single setting in Apex Mobile. This is for both iPads and phones. It doesn't matter what device you're on, this video applies to everyone. I've actually been playing the global launch of Apex Legends Mobile for a few weeks now before everyone else. I've made sure to test every single setting to actually understand everything. So thank you EA and the team over at Apex Mobile for giving me early access to the game. Drop a like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Basic settings. Straight away, there are two main choices here: light setup and advanced setup. Do not choose light setup. You're going to want to choose advanced setup so you can adjust the settings to your liking. Auto firing. This is straightforward. You literally don't have to aim. All you have to do is put your crosshair on your enemy and the game will shoot for you. If you've never played a shooter game before, I recommend having this on as it will help you get more kills. But for the rest of you that have played shooter games, turn this off. Left fire button. This is your hip fire button. Hip fire means without scoping in. Super straightforward. Have this on, it'll be there all the time. Enable when ADS, it'll only show up when you aim down sight. And off, it's off. I have mine off. One tap, ADS, and fire. If you have this off, when you tap your fire button, it'll immediately shoot your weapon. Fire after ADS. When you tap your fire button, it aims down sight first and then shoots. Fire while ADS. When you tap your fire button, it aims down sight and shoots at the same time. Now for mixed. Tap the fire button to aim down sight and fire, and if you double tap, you hip fire. I personally recommend keeping this set to off because you want to have more control over your shooting. Bolt action sniper firing mode. This setting only applies to bolt action snipers, such as the Sentinel and the Kraber. Tap to fire, you have to tap your scope button first, then shoot with two different buttons. And if it's on release to fire, all you have to do is use one button. You just hold down the shoot button and it will automatically scope in for you. As soon as you let it go, it'll shoot. I definitely recommend release to fire if you're playing with two fingers or on a phone, as it will be a lot easier for you. Shotgun firing mode. Tap to fire. You'll always hip fire when using shotgun. Release to fire. Press and hold your shoot button, and whenever you lift your finger up, it'll shoot. But it'll only hip fire. Fire after ADS. When you press and hold your shoot button, your shotgun will aim down sight, and right as you lift your finger up, it'll shoot. ADS mode. For this setting, we have tap, hold, and mixed. Tap, all you have to do is tap the scope button and it will scope in and out. This is what I use, and it's honestly the best option because it gives you more control. But for hold, you hold down your scope button to scope in, and as soon as you pick your finger up, it'll unscope. And mixed, it's a combination of both, which I wouldn't recommend because you'll be very inconsistent. Heading down to more options. Starting things off with aim assist. Aim assist is something that helps you target enemies. You don't have to aim or shoot perfectly when aim assist is on. You can shoot a little bit to the side of your enemy, and the aim assist will kick in and help pull your crosshair to your target. I definitely recommend having aim assist turned on, as it will greatly improve your aim and help you get more kills. Tpp Optic. This only applies to TPP, not FPP. Classic. Whenever you aim down sight, you will actually go into first person. Shoulder. Whenever you aim down sight, it'll stay in third person. And hybrid is a combination of both. Auto open doors. Turn this off. This is terrible. Basically what this does is right as you walk up to a door, it'll automatically open. You don't want that. You want to be able to sometimes leave that door closed so your enemy can't get in. Auto open chests. With this on, all you have to do is walk up to a chest and it will open for you. You definitely want to have this turned on as it will help you loot faster. Weapon auto cycle on empty. When this is on, as soon as your weapon runs out of ammo, it'll automatically switch to your other weapon. Turn this on. Continuous throwing. When this is off, right as you throw an explosive, you'll go right back to your weapon. When this is on, right after you throw an explosive, it'll automatically bring up another explosive for you to throw. This is terrible. Have this off. You don't want to throw a grenade right in front of someone and then have another grenade right back in your hand. You want to have it switch right back to your gun. Tactical ability release method. This applies to tactical abilities that require you to aim, like Pathfinder. Classic. This allows you to press and hold your tactical ability button before you use it so you can aim. Quick. As soon as you tap on the tactical ability button, it'll use it straight away. Ultimate use method. Exactly the same as tactical ability release method, but for your ultimate. I personally recommend having both of these settings left on classic. Allow squad mate control when offline. Turn this on. What this is going to do is if you go AFK, one of your teammates can actually control you. So they'll be able to make you heal, shoot, follow them, etc. This is so amazing. Such a great feature in Apex Legends Mobile. Now we have gameplay settings. Basic. Joystick triggers auto run. When this is on, while you're running, move your finger from the joystick up to the auto run button, and you'll run automatically for as long as you want. This is great for rotating around the map, as it ensures you are always going at full speed. Crouching controls. Tap. You tap the button to crouch and stand back up. Hold. You hold the button to keep crouching, and as soon as you lift your finger up, you stand. Have this on tap. It'll make things a lot easier. Slide jump control. You want to have this set to classic as it drastically improves your movement. For both, use the crouch and jump buttons to rotate the camera. Turn these settings off. Climbing control mode. Set this to classic as well. Climbing prompt. Turn this on as it will help guide you when you're climbing. It will let you know your climbing direction and available height. Zipline button settings. This is just left on display. Riding on zipline modes. I personally have this set to off because I'm more of an experienced player, but for beginners, have this set to single tap. So all you're gonna have to do is go up to a zipline and tap your jump button. Vertical zipline interact button. You need this on. What this is gonna do is give you the option to either go up or down a zipline. You're gonna have two different buttons. This gives you way more freedom when riding ziplines. Vertical zipline direction tips. Turn this off. Auto turn on vertical ziplines. Turn this off. Assisted zipline floor landing. Set this to off. Items. Smart health item recommendation. This will pretty much recommend you the best healing item to use based on your situation. I definitely suggest you using this if you don't know much about the game yet. Toggle to use health items. Turn this on. And continuously use health items means right as you finish using a heal item, like a shield cell, it will automatically pop another shield cell all the way until you are full HP. Personally, I turn this setting off. An attachment backpack, leave this on and don't touch anything. Pickup settings. Taking damage automatically closes death box. Turn this off. Switch item mode. You need to set this to tap. Pretty much what this does is when you're trying to switch weapons on the ground or in a loot box, you can just tap the weapon. If it's on hold, then you have to hold down the weapon for a few seconds, which isn't convenient at all. Auto pickup. Leave this on and interval on short. When pickup list is closed, stop auto pickup. Keep this on. Now for your auto pickup settings. Under health items, I recommend setting this to 4 syringes, 2 medkits, 8 shield cells, 4 shield batteries, 1 Phoenix kit, and 1 ultimate accelerant. Ammo. Leave this all on default. It's perfectly good where it's at. Now, ordnance. You want to prioritize arc stars over the other explosives because it's the best of the 3. So set this to 1 frag grenade, 1 thermite, and 2 arc stars. Ping. You don't have to mess with this. Battlefield info. Now this is actually really important. Minimap rotation, leave this off. Map radar alert, have this on. Battlefield back is what's really important here. Crosshair radar alert, turn this off. Show legends avatar when aiming at a target. This needs to be off. This setting will clutter your screen and make it very difficult to see enemies. Low ammo notification. I'd keep this on because it's going to let you know if you're low on ammo, which is actually really useful. Damage numbers display mode. Set this to both. Battle info. Have this on follow crosshair. Now these two settings are game changing. Damage crosshair and incoming damage feedback. For damage crosshair, you want the first option selected as this will let you know the type of shield your enemy has when shooting at them. And incoming damage feedback. Never use edge. I personally use both 2D and 3D icons as it'll make it easier to spot out enemies. And edge is terrible. It'll clutter your screen and make it very hard to see. Now moving on to controls. This is extremely important. Without the right controls, you're going to be terrible at the game. But don't worry, I got you. Let's walk you guys through the control settings. Right away, you have 2 interface options. The first one is more of a mobile HUD layout, and the second one is designed to look exactly like PC. If you're coming from PC or console Apex Legends, choose the second interface option. If you've never played Apex Legends before, or you just like how mobile looks, you're going to want to pick interface 1, control mode. The first option is the best. Left movement, right fire. This is going to make sure you don't accidentally move or shoot when you don't want to. You're going to have the best movement with this option. Now head over to custom layout, and here we're going to set up our HUD layout. I will be making a completely separate video going over the best controls and HUD layouts very soon, but I'll briefly explain how you can make a good HUD. You want to build your HUD so that when your eyes look at one specific section of your screen, all the buttons that work well together are right next to each other. So have your jump and crouch buttons right next to each other, and also your fire and reload buttons right next to each other. This is going to make it a lot easier for you when you're playing. This is my HUD for both iPad and phone if you want to copy it. Moving on to by far the most important thing in the entire game, your sensitivity. I will be making a completely separate video on how you can find your best sensitivity, but we'll go over it and give you a general understanding. What I recommend doing is changing overall sensitivity presets based on your liking to either low, medium, or high. These are sensitivity presets that the game has for you. I personally recommend medium as it's not too low and not too high. It's in the middle and it works for most people. This is my sensitivity for both iPad and phone. You guys can copy it if you like. I spent a ton of time with my sensitivity, so give it a try. Gyroscope. Now, gyroscope is pretty much when you move your device, the game moves with it. It's like a hands-on experience. You can use this to help you look around. I'd only recommend using this if you're on phones, not iPads. I'll dive deeper into gyroscope in a separate video. Graphics and audio settings. These are extremely important. If your graphic settings aren't set up properly, you're going to have a very bad gameplay experience. A huge mistake I see a lot of people making is prioritizing graphics over FPS. This is not good at all. FPS is far more important than your graphics. With that being said, turn your frame rate all the way up to as high as your device supports, and your graphics quality at normal. Even if you have a high-end device, if you go really high in graphics to like Ultra HD, your device will overheat, which will result in frame drops. Adaptive smoothing. This will make your game look a lot more smooth. I have mine turned off, but if you do like that look, have this on. Display FPS. Turn this on as it'll let you know in-game what your FPS is at all times. Your FOV, which means field of view. This is essentially how much you can see on your screen. The lower this number is, the closer everything is, and the higher this number is, the farther away everything is. Something to mention for FOV is the lower you set it to, the slower it'll make you feel like you're running, and the higher you set it to, the faster it'll make you feel like you're running. This does not actually change your speed, it just feels like it. I personally leave this on 100 as it's perfect. Graphic style. Now this entirely depends on the look you're going for. If you want it normal, leave it on classic. If you want your game to look very realistic, choose realistic, etc. Non-standard screen UI. Don't mess with this. Under advanced graphic settings, turn all of these off. Having these options off will greatly improve your FPS and how smooth your game runs. Camera. Allow left shoulder camera. Set this to off. Ability screen shake effect. I keep this on because it makes the game a lot more realistic. Now that you know the best settings and everything about them in Apex Legends Mobile, you're going to need to understand what the game is actually about. From the best legends to the best guns, everything. And that is why I've made a guide going over everything you need to know about Apex Mobile. The video is on your screen right now. Click it and I'll see you over there.